this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Prescott now on second down. And his throw here is incomplete. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long.
Let's go! 38!
On third down, it's Prescott. He completes it to Bryant. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They go to Elliott again. Muscles him off. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. A group of Broncos there combined to bring him down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. They come up in an offset eye. Looking to throw. Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. Elliott, time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. Prescott on 3rd and goal. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
On 1st and 10, Simeon surveying the field. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Forsett that time. And now it's 2nd down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, And he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you Laddie?
He called me Laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Really nice little connection there. They go with the corner route, and it works out well.
And the best way to set up the corner route is to throw slants throughout the ball game so that when you're able to get back outside, the defender has to respect the inside game.
To throw is Simeon, and his throw is incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
And able to find Green. 18 yards there and a first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Well, not the position they want to be in. Still a very, very small chance here, but they almost need a miracle.
Agreed. That means they've got to get it to the sidelines, get out of bounds, and preserve clock.
And caught right side, Green. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On the ground, 4th set. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Justin Forsett punching it in from a yard away. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. So now a big play here as the Broncos will line up to go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. So he needed it to travel 10. It did not. And it's an automatic penalty. And a great spot to start this drive from here.
Let's go.
This is Elliott. And he'll be stopped up. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. Well, Prescott here to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Underneath, he hits for set. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Hey, all right, here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Forsett. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
All right, here we go.
Now a first down throw, Simeon. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give them 11 on the gain there, and it'll be first down Denver. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Now Simeon. And Green with a catch left side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Let's go.
Now a play fake, and it's Simeon. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
To throw is Simeon. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Here's Simeon. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you got...
And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans screaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.